We've barely started 2017 and already one of the biggest things to happen ever has gone down. Omega versus Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 11 blew everybody's minds and got the entire pro wrestling world talking. While the match was certainly deserving of such praise, there may be more here than just the spectacle of the whole thing. In fact, it may be the catalyst to start a war between the WWE and New Japan. Why? Here's why. It's no secret that New Japan have been a bit ruffled by WWE in the past. Whether it was the WWE heading over to Japan and getting a bit too close to their turf, or the fact that they basically stole AJ Styles, Nakamura and Gallows and Anderson last year, well, you can kind of understand why. I mean, if I came into your house and stole your favourite coffee cup, and then you got up the next morning to have a cup of coffee and your favourite coffee cup wasn't there, you're going to be rightfully annoyed, because now I have your coffee cup and you wanted that coffee cup. While that may have just been a passing blow back then, now it's a full-blown thing, and New Japan have come out and pretty much said so. This is no longer the case of just two awesome wrestling companies that happen to be situated miles from each other. This could potentially be the biggest feud since WWF took on WCW. I mean, I don't know that for sure. It just sounded really good. I mean, it does sound really good, but in reality, that's just straight up hyperbole. So I thought I'd just say it, because I'm that guy. Anyway, the most obvious piece of evidence to support all this is the fact that New Japan are about to leave their home country and tour abroad. With shows planned for both America and Australia, which isn't usually the approach the company takes, it's also making a massive statement by doing all of this. And sure, we often get to see New Japan stars over this way thanks to the likes of Ring of Honor and so on, but this is a different kettle of fish entirely. This is trying to get the promotion over as much as the roster, much in the same way as the WWE tries to make the brand bigger than anybody on its books. By having shows in both Oz and the USA, you're well within your rights to start to think that this is the case. And why the hell not do it now? Interest in New Japan seems to be bigger than it has been in years, so you may as well pull that trigger while you got the chance. For starters, Wrestle Kingdom 11 helped New Japan World get more subscribers in America than it did in Japan. So straight away you've got a giant sign that says, "We are interested in this." Whether it was word of mouth following the main event or just the fact that New Japan keep having good matches, something clicked which inspired loads of people to drop a lot of cash. It was the same with Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer. Big Dave recently stated that they had double the interest through their various platforms for Wrestle Kingdom 11 than they had done for the previous years. We don't need to get into the nitty-gritty with all of this, we just need to accept that all the numbers are going up. And when all the numbers are going up, a lot of people are very happy. Then there's the most intriguing nugget of all. If you take everything into account, there's a very strong argument to be had that in terms of interest, New Japan is actually the #2 promotion in the United States of America. It's bigger than TNA, it's bigger than Ring of Honor. The only thing it's not bigger than is, wait for it, PWG. I'm making that up, it's WWE. Let's not pretend that WWE aren't aware of this either, or that it's very closely watching what New Japan does. This is no longer a promotion that just happens to be a very successful Japanese business, which it is, by the way. There is every chance it could become a very serious threat. Now, a lot has to come into play to make any of that happen. WWE is always going to be a huge company and presence around the world. But let's just say for a second that New Japan were able to get a bigger TV deal than the one they currently have on Access TV. Who's to say that after a short amount of time, it wouldn't start eating into that market like a shark going after its prey? There's a lot to be done, obviously, and to ignore the fact that Japanese wrestlers are always going to be more successful in front of a Japanese crowd would be stupid. It's the same with American stars. They're always going to be more popular in front of an American crowd. But that's where Kenny Omega comes into play. While no one really knows what the future holds, if New Japan play their cards right, Omega could be the guy that entices Western audiences to tune in, and then following that, fall in love with the entire product. Why do you think WWE tried so hard to get Nakamura through the doors? If you think it's just because he's one of the best wrestlers in the world, which he is, you're missing the bigger picture, and that bigger picture has money stamped all across it. The point being, Nakamura makes WWE more appealing for Eastern fans because he's one of their biggest and best superstars. Okada is incredible, but there needs to be a segue drug to get people to come over, and there's no doubt that Omega could very well be that guy. Football, or soccer for our American friends, do this all the time. They literally bring in players who can then hopefully help them expand their business overseas because they're overseas players. Not only does it create local press, but when they're successful, it allows everyone, no matter where they are, to start shouting about it. And that is just good attention for the football team or the company. With that in mind, just look what Omega did following Wrestle Kingdom. He had everybody talking, everyone saying he had one of the greatest matches of all time. And don't pretend this was just for the hardcore fan. I had casual fans that only watch WrestleMania once a year, get in touch with me and say, Miller, what's this New Japan match all about? That is powerful. If this is all true too, then there's no two ways about it. WWE definitely has a new contender on its hand. And it may not be a contender that's going to knock it off its perch, but it may be a contender that they need to start taking a bit more seriously. And that's a good thing, because if that happens, competition creates creativity. And as we know, it's all about that Triple C. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about New Japan versus WWE. And then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and come follow me on Twitter at SimonMiller316. Because what would we be without social media? I'm Simon from What Culture, and if you get a phone call telling you that I've died, it's probably a lie and you've just been wide. Rhyming is not my forte. Stop the video.